Hello and welcome to EDUC 407 Week 6. I want to get you guys started on these assignments because they can take a little bit of time. I don't know if my picture is showing because my computer is acting weird. So if you don't see my picture of me talking, sometimes that happens with technology. So let's kind of get started and look at what we're doing. So our Week 6 assignments, all of these are due on the 12th of March. Okay, so full week. We do have a class meeting on the 9th at 5 p.m. So if you can make it, please make it on campus. Otherwise, I'll be sending out the Zoom link when that time is appropriate. But make sure you are attending so that way if I can answer any questions, that would be a great time to do it. We have 3 major assignments. I say major, but they're the assignments for the week. The first of which is collaborating with Google Workspace. Second one is book reading and Slack group discussions. And then the last one is a collaborative storytelling. This one's going to take a little bit of time on that one. That's why there's only 3 assignments, but make sure you manage your time wisely, and you should be able to get it done relatively easy, I hope. Okay, so let's look at the first one, collaborating with Google Workspace. You're going to watch a video on Google Apps for Education. We call that GAF, so if you've ever heard that term, that's Google Apps for Education. And you're going to read 2 articles on Google Apps and Google Classroom. There are a lot of schools and districts that use Google Classroom. Even though, like say, the current high school district, we don't use it that often, we still have access to it, and some of our teachers actually use it for different things. But a lot of Google apps are used, especially when in our learning management systems, so really important to understand some of these Google apps. Once you finish there, you're going to write a reflection on one idea you'd bring to your team. So say you work with a grade level like 2nd grade teachers, or for me as a high school teacher, I work with my geometry PLT. That's what we call it. How could you use a Google app to help teachers collaborate better? And just after you look at that, and again, you're only scratching the surface. So if you want to see how they collaborate better, play with some stuff, see how that might work, because collaboration is going to be the key in education from now on. Okay, so it's no longer where you are just sitting in your classroom by yourself. It's your own kingdom. A lot of times we're all working together, and in some cases you will have a co-teacher where you have to collaborate because we have inclusion of special ed students and we have instructional assistants. So collaboration is really key. Our second assignment deals with your book club and the book reading and that template. You'll have a group discussion. First you have to read chapters 3 through 6. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will take you a little bit of time, but read those. Complete slides 3, 4, and 5. Realistically, slide 3, and I'll show you in just a little bit. There's nothing there that you have to do, but 4 and 5, you'll have to do something. And then after you finish those, meet with your group online. And I'm not saying you have to meet on a specific time, but you're going to post something. You're going to post your ideas for your project, and then you should be responding to at least 2 classmates to kind of get their ideas and bounce ideas off of each other, because maybe your initial idea may not be the best, and that's okay. That's what we have here. I'm not looking for perfect projects in terms of project-based learning, but I want you to start brainstorming ideas on that. And that thought process, bouncing ideas. In fact, as a aside, my friend and I, we're working the geometry PLT. He's bouncing ideas for projects. He's working with his GATE students. I'm bouncing ideas like, hey, will this work? Should you try this? And we're just doing that because a lot of times when we collaborate, we can make the projects better quicker. Okay, so again, be ready to collaborate. Very important. And speaking of collaboration, collaborative storytelling. Okay, so what you're going to do in your groups is you're going to select a short fairy tale or children's story. And I mean short. You don't have to make it very long. Okay? You're going to divide the story into sections with each person getting a section. Okay? So you might, do like Humpty Dumpty, or you might do like Cat in the Hat, something. Again, 3 Little Pigs. Don't try to overdo it. You don't want a big, long story. You want a short story. And you're going to divide it into sections. So each group has 4 people, so divide it into 4 sections. What you're going to do is create a Google slide deck, or you can do things on your own. It's kind of up to you how you want to do it. But you're going to recreate the story with pictures, and you want to make it personalized. So each person's going to have their own personalized part of the story. So basically you're telling a story from 4 different points of view. And it could be with props. I've had people use their kids. You might do Animoto, some animation, whatever it takes to recreate that part of the story that you are working on, you're going to do that. Now you're going to screencast all of that stuff, whether it be slides or whether it be your own video. You're going to upload it to YouTube, and you're going to share the links with each other. Make sure you get those permissions where you have it to where it's public so that they can see it, and you can see it, and I can see it. Then what you're going to do is that somebody on your team where you guys work together, you're going to create a playlist on YouTube where you're going to put all 4 videos in there in order, so that if I were to watch it, I could watch the whole story in order from one video to the next. So kind of like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. As long as I can view those videos, again, I am not expecting video production quality. All I'm expecting is that you're just giving me your very best so you could see how you might be able to use it in a class if you're dealing with people that learn differently. If they create video here and here and here and here, and they create a story, that's pretty valuable and something that they can hold on to for a long time. And then, of course, you'll submit the link to the playlist, not to each individual video, but to the playlist of the videos on Blackboard for grading at the end when you're done. Okay, so let's kind of look at all of these as we go through it inside Blackboard. Okay, so here's Blackboard right here. The first one, collaborating with Google Workspace. Okay, so what you're going to do is click on it, obviously. The assignment's right here at the top. So collaborating. Imagine you're working at a new school. What is one idea you would bring to your team that uses Google Workspace to help teachers collaborate better? And that's after you watch this video. So there's a video here for you to watch that reviews some of the Google apps for education. We call it GAF. And then you have a couple of articles here. Google Classroom for Teacher Collaboration and an Edutopia article. If you have any problems opening those, please let me know. But do those 3 things and then answer the question here. Coming back to our workspace, the second part is your book reading and group discussion. So again, chapter 3 through 6 in the textbook, make sure you read that. So you should have your textbook and you should start reading. Complete slides 3 through 5 in your book club slide deck. I'll show you that in just a second. And again, remember, you're not turning anything in from your slide deck yet. You're just collaborating because you're not going to have a finished product yet. So all I want you to do is collaborate and start building what you're going to do. Meet with your group on Slack and share your project ideas. At some point during the week, post your ideas on Slack in your group and respond to 2 other group members' posts. Once you've done that, make sure you're using the comments to kind of get an idea to brainstorm to make a better individual project. Okay, so very important. Now looking at our book study, here's week 6. Okay, so March 6th to March 12th. Okay, this first one just basically talks about what you have to do. So you want to read chapters 3 through 6. Okay, that's the slide. You don't have to do anything with that slide. But here's where you actually have to do something. So the next slide, it says complete. Your turn, develop a conceptual framework for your project. Pages 91 through 92. So there'll be a little activity that you do there. What I want you to do is post your ideas here. This is something when you turn it in as your final project, I'll kind of see your thought process as you go from week to week to week. Okay, so make sure you select a content area, select a grade level you want to look at, research those content standards for that particular thing. So keep it simple. Again, don't try to make it harder than it needs to be, and kind of post those right there. Then what you're going to do is for the next one, you're going to complete on pages 107 to 110, your turn, design your project. So think about how you're going to engage students in researching a topic. We're not talking about like large research or anything like that. Collaborating within a team and experiencing what we call deep inquiry, okay, where they really are thinking about those things. Okay, so that is part of the book study. Again, you're typing on here. If you need extra space, add a slide. You have no problems adding slides or anything because it's your template. Okay, you're not turning anything in for this yet. This is turned in at the very end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see your thought process from start to finish, so you have an idea of how you've developed a project. So again, Don't feel like you have to turn anything in right here. All you're doing is collaborating on Slack. You're talking to your team members, getting ideas, bouncing those ideas off of each other. Ideally, you'll have a conversation, okay? And there's nothing wrong if you post more than once. You just want to talk to each other because building ideas off of people is important. Okay, so coming back to our last thing, collaborative storytelling. Okay, this is that major part that you're going to do this week. You're going to, within your group, find a story that's short. Okay, break it up into 4 parts because you have 4 people. You could use a slide deck. And, again, you're not required to. I know the instructions say that, but that's one way of doing it, where you create a collaborative slide deck and then you each record your portion. Or you can just do it on your own, however you want to do it, just as long as you're doing the same story and it's building for the whole story in 4 parts. Okay? Make sure you are screencasting it. Make sure you are creating a YouTube link to it that everyone can access in your group. You may want to use Slack to collaborate there. And then when you guys have finished all of your videos, make sure you are posting a link to the playlist. So you have to create a playlist. So if you don't know how to do it, probably ask a teenager. They could tell you right now. But make a playlist and make sure you guys are doing that. Now, if there's the case where someone doesn't do their part of the project and it's time to turn it in, you guys turn in your playlist with what you've got done. That person that doesn't do it, they get marked down, not you. I am looking for what your part of the story is so I can grade your individual part, not the collective. Okay, so if there is someone that just doesn't do it, that's on them. If they choose not to do it, they don't get credit. You will get credit as long as you guys submit the playlist. So make sure you guys are collaborating with each other on that. I have a video for you to watch. If you type in EDUC 407, you might see some videos on YouTube where people have done things. And again, I'm not expecting perfect quality. It's up to you how you want to do it. But just have fun with it. Again, be creative. Some of you guys, I bet, are very creative. Enjoy it. And make sure you are getting that particular assignment done. So again, there are 3 assignments that you have to do for this week coming up. Make sure you do it. We will be meeting on the 9th. So if you do run into any issues, that's a perfect time to come either online or in class, and I can work with you on that. And I look forward to seeing you guys then. And I hope you guys are having a great week to start. And I look forward to it. See you later.